It's Archeage 101, the 2019 edition. My name is Jalan, and today we're starting a 6-part video series that is part B of the classes video. Now, if you didn't watch the classes video, what you really want to do is click on that card that just appeared over there, or you want to head over to my webpage where I break down how classes work. Now, my webpage is really like the textbook for the class. It's going to go into a lot more details. The videos are really the lecture series, what people want to get face-to-face. Now, you'll see right here, we're starting Section 2B, Classes and Builds. And what I feel is that I owe you 6 more videos. I owe you 3 on damage dealer builds, melee, archery, and magic. And then, of course, I owe you a 4th video for the main classes, and that's healer. But I personally feel like we have to talk about tanks and bards. Now, if you come to the website, you're going to find that bards are all the way at the bottom. I don't want people to think that bards aren't important. You got to put them in some sort of order. Bards just ended up at the bottom. But now, if bards are at the bottom of my text guide, why are they the first video that I'm doing? They're the first video that I'm doing because anybody can bard. A brand new player who has very little gear, they can bard. Archeage is a game that is really based on the triangle of class, gear, build. You can be in the right class, you can be using the best build, but if you don't have great gear, you're going to lose a lot of your fights. At the same time, you can be in the right class, and you can have great gear, but if you don't know your build and you don't know your rotations and your combos, sure, you're going to win some fights because you're carried by the gear, but you're going to lose fights against people who can overcome your gear score. So while you're working on getting gear for whatever class you want to play, I want you as a new player to be able to get involved. And that's where Barding comes in. Now, before we can start this, we really have to come into a character sheet. And I want to show you that gear makes a huge difference. You'll see right here, I have 1,520 healing power in my gear set. So if I come over to my antithesis and I use Quake antithesis, and that does make a difference if you're trying to compare numbers, make sure you use Quake antithesis, you'll see that my healing is 3,933. Well, what would happen if you're trying to be a healer right now and you don't have that level of healing power? What if you only have a low-level base club to heal with? You'll see this base club is only have 335 healing power. It doesn't have 963. Well, when I pop that in and I come into the character sheet, I'm down to 870 healing power. And when I come over to antithesis, it's only going to do 2,384. That is a huge difference. As you can see, as a healer with a low level amount of gear, you are not going to be as effective as a healer with a high gear score. Now, it's going to be the same way for every other class. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop in a Hiram Dagger. And you're going to see over here with this Sunder Earth, this Sunder Earth is going to do 3,360. And if I switch that out and I put in a lower level dagger, same sort of thing, it's going to do 2,328. So as you can see, gear is going to make a huge difference when it comes to how effective you are. Well, if you're a new player, you don't have gear, so what do? Well, I think that you should be barding. That's why this first video is on barding. I want to show you why. The barding tree is going to be this base build. Now, this is from Archeage Codex, just so you can see it neatly without all the other stuff on the screen. There is a link to this in the description below, and it is on the webpage. Why do I think that this base build is going to help new players at least get involved, feel like they're contributing, learn some raid mechanics? Well, quite simply, bards are a force multiplier who aren't affected by gear. Show you really quickly here, Ode to Recovery. Now you can see that at 1,520 healing power, my Ode to Recovery is going to do 498 health every 3 seconds. Now, a lot of people try popping in and out a healer weapon, and they see that number change, and they're like, oh, well, my healing power changed, my Ode to Recovery changed. It's not changing based on healing power. I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to take out the healing power. I'm going to take out my weapon, and you will see that the Ode to Recovery is going to drop to 489. I put it back in, it goes back up to 498. It's not because of healing power. I want you to, when I cursor over the club, you'll see that the weapon has healing plus 2%. The healing stat will be talked about more in the healer's video, but it's not the healing power, because I can remove my cloak, which has 97 healing power on it. You're going to see this number drop down. If I take off my cloak, my healing power drops down. When I come over here, it's still 498. It's based on the healing stat, so don't let that one trip you up. But the nice part is that you're going to be healing 498, give or take, based on your gear. I have a lot of healing stats, so it's not going to be 498, but you're going to be restoring health. I also want you to pay attention to 3 areas on my character sheet. I want you to see right here my physical defenses. I want you to see right here my move speed. And I want you to see right here my attack speed. So as a low-level character, you have nothing else going on. What you're going to do is roll your songs. You're going to have 100% uptime on these 4 performance skills. Now, obviously, Ode to Recovery is not going to do much because I don't have any health missing. When I click on Quick Step, you'll instantly see my move speed stacking up as the song rolls, the 4 clicks of the song. That's a huge benefit if you're pushing faster. When you come over here, you'll notice my physical defense is 8,800 and 14,000. Click on this, instantly to 12,000 and 18,000. Everybody in your raid is going to get that. Last one, when I click on my Bloody Shanty, it's going to do 2 things. First, you're going to notice this attack speed down here. When I click on this, it's going to instantly give me 282 attack speed, which is going to make my attack speed 78% instead of 100%. Speeds up my attacks. Also, as you notice on this skill, you'll see the text is changing. 518, 604, 614, 624, 633, 643, and the cycle continues. What you're doing right there as a bard is you are making all of your well-geared damage dealers do even more damage. Now, why is this so important? Sure, you could be out there as a under-geared melee, you could be out there as an under-geared ranged, trying to do damage, but you're not really doing a lot. If you are applying these 4 songs to your raid, you are making a huge difference. You are letting your big damage dealers do even more damage. You are helping them be more tanky. You are keeping them alive. You are taking some of the pressure, a little bit of the pressure off of your healers by just topping off people who aren't at 100%. Is it glorious? No, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not glorious. You're not going to be getting the kudos for the big kills. You're not going to get the big honor, the big leadership. You're not going to get the big high five as the healer will get for the person who keeps the initiator alive. But you're an unsung hero. But more importantly, it's letting you get involved with events, raids, combat, get a feeling for how things are going to go. And you don't actually have to be well-geared, be on the front line. You're contributing, you're learning like you should be, but you're not hindering anything due to your lack of gear. Now, I want to talk about a couple other things that you probably will end up taking. You probably will end up taking Sonic Wave as a healer or as a bard, and that is totally okay. In fact, I highly encourage you to take Sonic Wave because when you hit somebody with it, it negates their ability to acquire a target. You're probably also going to take Double Time. Now, I know some people are going to say, but Jay, you just sent me 9 points into the Soncraft tree. I'm not going to have a lot of points to spend elsewhere. And that's really okay. You don't need to spend a lot of points elsewhere. Your job is to keep those songs up 100% of the time. But I do want to include a couple of other things you can do if you feel like you need to do more. One of those things is that you'll have the ability to debuff with Startling Strain. Now, as we cursor over each of these abilities in the combo section, you'll see some combos. Inflicts damage based on magic attack per second on charmed targets. When you throw out Startling Strain, you charm a single target. So then when you're throwing out these 4 songs, they're going to take continuous damage. They're going to get slowed. They are going to get 50% of their magic and physical defense removed. And they're going to get 20% of their skill damage taken away. That's huge. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot, you only doing it to 1 target. Well, you have another ability that does function as a heal called Healing Him that you throw it out and it's the one that bounces around. Now this one says plus 0% healing power. It used to scale off healing power. It no longer does. So what you do is you can throw it off yourself. And I'm going to actually call out a mount real quick. You'll see it. If I target my mount with this, you're going to see my mount get healed. And then you're going to see the note bounce back to me. So you'll see if there had been other people around, it would have bounced off the mount, gone 2 directions, and then hit 2 characters. From the 2 characters, it would have bounced to 3 more characters. Pretty potent healing. Not a lot of healing to it, but it does heal a lot of people. But what you can do is you can go into your ancestral skills, come to healing him, and then you can take the stone healing him, and instead of healing, it's going to bounce your charm around. Well, what does that do? That's going to make a lot more characters susceptible to the negative effects of your songs. So you're a low-level character, you can't do a lot of damage, but you just became a source of frustration for the enemies, and you become a source of buffs for your allies. Already looking pretty good. You can also come in here and you can take Dissonance, which is going to disable target's left-hand weapon for 3 seconds. You can also stack that on to Critical Discord, which will increase the, that's actually what will disable the target's left-hand weapon. The Dissonance effect is going to be its own on each of these 4 skills. So you Critical Discord somebody, then you hit them with Dissonance, and now their left-handed weapon is disabled for 3 seconds, and they're getting the second combo, which is decrease of max health by 10%. It is decreases enemies' attack speed by 100%. It is reduces their def pen by 10%. And it is decreases all accuracy by 10%. So you basically throw Critical Discord, Dissonance, disable their weapon, their Startling Strain, they're charmed. They're getting 8 debuffs. And that's absolutely huge for a character that couldn't necessarily contribute a lot of attack, a lot of potency on their attacks. One more thing I want to show you before we get into other trees that you can take to augment your barding. You already saw this. I have 0 attack speed to start. You see that when I start playing the song, it goes up to 282. Battle Hymn is absolutely a huge buff. If we're pushing that way, and I manage to throw the Battle Hymn over there, what you're going to see is that buff now comes in. That's 350 attack speed. That's taking me down to 74%. When I click on the song, that's almost 39% attack speed before the person's gear even becomes a factor. Guys, new players, that's huge. A dedicated bard keeping all 4 of these songs up all the time is absolutely massive. But what if you feel like you got to do a little bit more? That's not enough for you. You need to do more. You can. If you take Battle Rage, and I know this is going to sound really weird. You're like, Jay, you just told me I can't do damage. I'm not telling you to take Battle Rage for damage. I'm telling you to take Battle Rage for Sunder Earth. What I want you to see is I want you to see my stats real quick. I'm going to throw this so I cancel out all my songs. Come over here into my defensive stats. 34, 27, 27 is what you'll see. If I use Sunder Earth, you'll see 64, 57, 57. Throwing out Sunder Earth for your allies, not trying to do damage with it, but to create that area of reducing all received damage by 30%. Guys, that's huge. We've talked about how mitigation works on my stream. There's going to be a video coming out about mitigation. I have the over here on my website. I have the mitigation. I have the mitigation calculator. If you come into the website, you come down here on the gearing page, gear and gearing up. Come down here to this spreadsheet. It'll tell you and explain how mitigation works. 30% is huge. Just to show you one more time how huge is 30%. Well, if you figure that I'm starting with only 27% in 2 categories, and an ability is taking me up to 57% for 7 seconds, that's huge. What if you don't want to do that? What if you want some other stuff? Well, obviously, Vitalism, if you are going to be a healer eventually, and you're already starting down the path of building healing gear, building a healing weapon, then you absolutely, I'm going to do this on the skills combo page. What you can do is you can come into take revive. Now, I know instantly people are going to say revive. Revive is huge for a bard to have. It means a healer doesn't have to have that point invested. Picking up people and them not having to come back from the respawn, that is huge. If you have the points to put it in, you can take Resurgence and Renewal. Help add on a little bit onto the frontliner, because these don't overwrite each other. You can stack a bunch of Resurgences onto a single character. It also allows you to take Healing Circle and Mana Barrier. As long as you have some sort of a healing weapon, these are just additional heals you can put out. But remember, you're not healing. If you're barding, you're just trying to augment healing. So you want to throw out a couple of quick heals, a couple of quick abilities, and then get right back into rolling your songs. Another odd one that people will definitely think will think of as odd is, I want to say you can take Archery and you can apply some spot damage. If you plan on being an archer later game anyway, and you're already working on that archer weapon that's going to have some stat to it, you can pick up a couple of points here so that you get Concussive Arrow and Missile Rain. When you get your stats all stacked up, you got your critical rate from Discipline Performance, and I'll show you that, what I mean by that. As I roll my songs, I'm going to be getting this buff from Critical Performance, and it is Discipline Performance, sorry. It's going to increase all critical damage by 22%. Well, right there you see it's stacking up pretty well. I get that all nice and stacked up. Big critical. I'm waiting on my Zeal proc. As soon as we see Zeal proc off, that might be a time to fire off a Missile Rain. There's my Zeal. Higher chance that it's going to be a crit. Throw out that Missile Rain, throw out that Concussive Arrow, right back into your 4-song pattern. Finally, there's, for your own survivability, bring this back up. I'm going to bring up Defense, and I'm going to bring up Witchcraft. Defense, you can do a lot of things that help you survive if you get jumped. Do not neglect Life Lasso. You can grab somebody that's been pulled into the enemy lines. That's a great thing for a bard to do. Grab that person, pull them back. You can run the other version of Lasso, and you can pull 2 enemies towards your raid. And it's simply utilizing a one-off skill and then right back into that 4-song set. Finally, you can take Witchcraft, control the middle of the fight a little bit better. You can have Purge, you can have Fears, you can have Dahuda's Breath. Really, really simple way for you to help control the battle space. Alright guys, and that is it for today. I wanted to start with Bards. I think that Barding is overlooked right now. I don't think there are enough Bards at faction events. I don't think there's enough people making sure that they have 100% uptime. I think that we have some healers that are trying to dual hat heals and songs. If you're on Kadem, especially Kadem East, you're a new player, you want to get involved with faction events, just come out and Bard, man. We definitely need them. I'll tell you right now, a lot of times when I'm looking at my bar, I don't see songs being applied 100% of the time. So I'd love to see some new players out there barding, getting used to how PvP works, how events work. Barding lets you be more heads up. You can see the battle space easier. Plus, like I said, you're an unsung hero. We need more bards. You are a force multiplier. You do make a huge difference. And it doesn't require you to have any specialized gear. If you're working towards being a melee or a archer or a mage, same gear you're going to wear, and you're probably going to have the Soncraft tree anyway. If you're going to be a healer, there is a lot of synergy between. Once you get that healing weapon going, you can throw out spot heals. But no matter what you do, if you are a bard, make sure you get right back into throwing that song cycle and get your foreign performance songs up and rolling. If you guys have questions, want to talk more, I'm Jalan #0001 on Discord. PM me or join my Discord. The link to that's in the description below. I still have the Archeage 101 Discord. It's morphed into the Paradox Gaming Network Discord, but you'll find an Archeage channel. You'll be able to get the help you need. If you want one-on-one help, swing by while I'm streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Even if I'm not streaming Archeage, I always answer Archeage questions. And to close it up, big thanks to all my sponsors at Patreon. These guys are responsible for all the gift card giveaways that I do. There is a gift card giveaway in the description of this video below. Just click, fill it out. It has changed due to some changes at YouTube, but we go with what the rules say. That's it, guys. I want to get this in a post. I want to work on those other 5 videos, get them out now back to back to back. And as you can probably tell, I need to work on the gearing video because that's a huge part of our triangle. You guys take care. Hey, where are you going? You're not done yet. See these videos? This video's up here to watch. You gotta go over here. Hit the chibi. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the webpage. And I'll see you guys on Twitch.